Hello and welcome to Rawdon's World. Today I'm going to talk about the Greymouth reunion for 2023 first Easter on Saturday the 8th and Sunday the 9th. This is Mrs. Smith, who teaches the drama class at the high school. Mrs. Smith, can you please tell us what is a reunion?
Okay, so a reunion is when everyone gets back together after a long time of not being at school. So they have sports reunions and all sorts of clubs, and we often have school reunions where people from the same year get back together, and then they talk about old adventures and teachers and all sorts of things that they've done in the past. This year it's a very special reunion for the school because it's the centenary, and that means that the school has been around for 100 years, which is a long time, isn't it?
Yes.
So we haven't got students from 100 years ago.
No.
But we have got students from as far back as the 1930s.
Wow.
Who are still alive and living in Greymouth or coming to the show, the reunion.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really special because 100 years worth of the school being around is being celebrated.
Yeah.
We've got lots and lots of good memories and pictures and lots of stories that can be told, and everyone will learn lots of new things about the school and its history and the things that we can be really proud of.
Wow.
And celebrate.
Cool.
Oh, one more thing on that is there's a great bit of, there's always food at parties, isn't there?
Yeah.
So we're going to have some food. There'll be some snacks available and some drink, and then there'll be a dinner that night where we get to all get together and have a meal together.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Can you please tell me what your role is in this special event?
Okay, so for the centenary, I've been given the job of looking after what is happening around the school. So there's lots and lots of different events and displays and things happening around the school, and I've been working on that behind the scenes and just getting the teachers organised and making sure that we've got things so that when people come, they're going to be able to look around and say, oh, that's cool, I remember that, or they'll be able to say, oh, this has changed a lot. But hopefully everyone that comes here will be able to look around the school and see something either that they remember or that they're pretty interested in or excited about.
Wow.
So all the teachers are starting to do displays and things like that, and they'll all be available for everyone to see on that weekend, that centenary weekend.
Wow, that's good. That's really good. That's good to know. So, Mrs. Smith, can you please tell me what this big heavy thing is?
Okay, well, I found this. Mrs. Fleming and I were ferreting around under the hall stage, and we found 4 of these beautiful old siren pieces, and we think that this siren, this is part of the old bomb shelter that was at the school in the 1930s and 40s. And it was built so that you could have, this siren is really big, so you can have a look down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep, and it's all made of metal, so give it a tap. Okay, and the siren sat on top of the brick building, and it was to tell people that if there was any enemies coming or a plane or maybe there was going to be a bomb dropped or something like that during the war,
Yeah.
this would make a lot of noise. It would blare out, and there were 4 of these, and then everyone in the school would know that they had to run into the bomb shelter.
Yeah.
So they would run in, and this is very old. This is 80 years old at least.
Wow.
So that's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, very
Older
good.
than your great grandparent probably.
Yeah.
So we're going to paint these up, and we're going to have them on display during the centenary celebrations.
Wow.
It's a nice little piece of our history.
Yeah.
So we've got lots of history.
Great history.
Yeah. Would you like to know some more about what's happening that weekend?
What food is having down there?
Oh, yes. Okay, so I think that there's going to be lots of yummy morning tea food, probably cakes and sandwiches and savouries and things like that. And then at dinner, at that night, there's going to be a very fancy meal that people are going to get all dressed up for. So I would say there's going to be some yummy desserts and things like that, but I don't know exactly what's on the menu.
Okay. Very interesting. Great to hear about that.
Are you interested in the displays that are going on around the school?
The displays.
The displays, yep. So some of the things that are going on around the school during that weekend. So you'll be able to go to the library and see our documentary.
Yeah.
Which is made up of old students who used to be here, and they're talking about the school when they were here. So you can go and watch that on the big screen in the library. You can go to the whare and have a look at all the kapa haka stuff on screen. You could go to the maths block and look at some maths displays. And in the science block, there's going to be a lab set up with old and new science lab, the way it used to be and how it is now.
Wow.
And there's also going to be science boards on display. In the hall, there's going to be a music hall show, and that's going to play twice in the weekend on the Saturday. So there's going to be lots of performances, and that is going to take us back to 1923.
Wow.
Which is the year that the school was first built.
Wow.
Yeah. Then, if you want to, you could go and wander over to the area that you guys work in, and there's going to be a display, and I think your movie is going to be playing that you made last year, your special Royden movie.
The movie?
Yes, so people will be seeing that, so you will be world famous.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah. And outside of the TWK site, there will be a little radio area where you can listen to what was on the radio at that time in the 1920s and 30s.
Wow.
Yeah. If you want to go to the gym and you feel like a bit of sport, there are going to be a couple of games over there that people can play, bowls and netball, or basketball as they used to call it.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to see all their old sports uniforms, some of the old sports uniforms from the school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And outside of the hall, you'll be able to see all 11 of the principals that the school's had. And you'll see big versions of them, cut out versions. They're not all really there, but the information on them will be there.
Yeah.
And one other thing, we've got a big hall of fame down in the social studies block.